Thank you, brothers and sisters. I must thank to all the participants, also the BARABATI Lodge, Cuttack. They have been conducting last many days, every Monday at this time, study on constitution of man or man and his bodies. And they have requested me to talk on or summing of these bodies and karma. So once again I thank both President and Secretary of the Lodge, the Patanjali Tripathi, Brother Patanjali Tripathi and Bhavani Shankar Mahanti and Sahadev, Professor Sahadev Patra. I also happy to see Pradeep Mahapatra is also attending this, and most of them I know who are attending here. I welcome all them. So what we have studied?
Namaskar Shinde ji, Namaskar Shinde sahab. This is Sushma from Allahabad.
Oh, Allahabad, Sushma.
Oh my goodness.
Namaste. Welcome. See what we have studied last many days, and we say to the people, meditate on the higher self. Who is meditating? The meditation is training to our mind. So it is the lower self who is meditating on the higher self. Once we understand this, our lower self is meditating on the higher self. The higher self through its spiritual body, that is, we say will, wisdom, love or Atma, Buddhi, Manasa, then begin to control our mental body, our astral body, our physical body. Not only it controls, it draws upwards, and thus it purifies our three lower bodies. That is why we are asked to meditate on our higher self, on our human qualities, that is will, wisdom and love, so that they can manifest in our action, in our thought, in our feeling, on day-to-day activities. We must realize that the physical body takes the food, it digests, assimilates, and converts it into blood and flesh, and that is how we grow from childhood to old age, like this, assimilating, eating, digesting, assimilating, and converting into the blood and flesh. So all this process that is going on in the physical body helps for the growth of the body. But the one thing we must realize, that our astral body and mental bodies, they also take continuously elemental essence from the surrounding, and not only they are taking, afterwards they expel them out. Just like physical body takes the food and whatever undigested food is expelled, in the same manner, astral and mental bodies, they take continuously elemental essence from the surrounding, and afterwards they expel them out. This process is going on, all these three lower bodies, physical, astral and mental body. So if we allow elementals and permit them to gain their control, then there will be no regeneration. There will be degeneration. So we should not allow the elementals to control us. That is what we must remember. And for that purpose, we must meditate on our higher self, so that our higher self can draw upwards these lower bodies, especially astral and mental bodies. So the choice is at our disposal, whether control of body by the self, that is higher self, all capital SELF, or it should be controlled by the elementals. That choice is at our disposal. For this purpose, what is required? Viveka, discrimination. It is very essential to treat the path of return, and also one should not have desire for psychic powers, should not wish to shine, he should not wish to appear clever, he should not desire or speak. If he wants to speak, if it is necessary and it is instructed, speak that which is kind, true, and beneficial. And what is important is we must use our thought power. Man is supposed to having this capacity of thinking. He has thought power. And if he realizes the power of the thought, really realizing, it is not just verbalizing. If he realizes the power of thought, definitely this realization leads him not to think and feel evil of any being. Otherwise, it boomerangs to him and affects him. So, therefore, it is said, masters have said, body is your animal upon which you must ride. Like horse, it is an animal upon which you have to ride. And the body should not control you. You should control it. And for that purpose, it is instruction is given when we study the human bodies. It is essential to discriminate the desire of physical body, desire of astral body, desire of mental body. This is all said repeatedly. Physical body, when work is there, when help is to be given, the physical body wants to take rest, or it wants to go out, or it wants to go for daily walking, it wants to eat or drink, etc. These are the wantings of physical body that needs to be with awareness realized. In the same manner, astral body also wants to be angry, greedy of money. It also wants to use sharp words and take the revenge. It also feels envy and jealous. All these are going on. That is why in the beginning I said, these astral bodies and mental bodies, they are always continuously taking these elementals. Elementals, they are entering in our body. If we are not aware, then they control us. So we need to be discriminate. What are the wants of this astral body? What this astral body wants? Why it wants to be angry? Why it wants to be greedy of money? Why it wants to be sharp words or feel envy or jealousy? Ask yourself. Then come to the mental body. The mental body wants, also we must discriminate. It always thinks of itself. That is what mentally we are not careful. Because of our carelessness, we go on thinking of ourselves first. And when we meditate, it begins to think many different ways during meditation. It doesn't want to concentrate. So all these are mental bodies want. So what is said, when we study the bodies, we must be careful of these 7 bodies. You may ask, because as it is said, it is the horse upon which we must ride. In the other word, you can say there is a marriage between a higher self and lower self. So, this lower self is our life partner. You remember this. It is our life partner, and once your body stops responding, being life partner, if it starts responding, if it stops responding, then no one is with you. Is it not? Is it not you and your body stay together from birth to till death? Is it not what you do to your body is your responsibility? Surprisingly, that will come back to you. So, the more you care for your body, the more your body will care you. Remember this. So, what you eat, what you do for being fit, how you deal with stress, how much rest you give to your body, all this decide how your body responds. So response is very important. Otherwise, we just react. The whatever mental essence they enter, they control, we react. So all these, whatever physical body we take, eat, drink, and all these, they will properly respond. And it is important to remember, our body is the only, our permanent address on this earth, especially where you live. We are now living in this globe earth. Our body is our asset. Our body is our liability, which no one else can share such things. So your body is your responsibility. Like wife and husband, we take responsibility, care each other, because you are the real life partner. Your real life partner is your body, lower mind or lower self. So be fit forever, take care of yourself. As we know, money comes and goes, relatives and friends are also not permanent. Remember, no one can help our body other than us. So remember, whatever pranayam we do, it is for the lungs. Whatever meditation we do, it is helpful for the mind. Whatever yogasanas we do, it is meant for the body. And whatever walking we do, morning or evening or walking meditation, all this, that helps to our heart. And whatever good food we give to the body, that helps for our intestine, where actually assimilation, absorption, everything is going on in the intestine, where it is, therefore it is 22 feet long. And whatever good thoughts we give, they go to directly to our soul. So in this fifth root race, mental body is developing, and whatever good thoughts we give, that goes to the soul, and therefore whatever right action we do, good karma we do, that goes to the world. You are the world. So good karma for the world, good thought for the soul, good food for the intestine. The walking exercise is helping for the heart. Yogasana helps for the body, and meditation helps to the mind, and pranayama helps to the lungs. If we remember this, then we will also understand and realize the significance of human bodies. Why this exercise we do, why we study the different bodies and their help, etc. So it is important. In the light on the path, instruction is given. The whole nature of man must be used wisely by the one who desires to enter the way. So if we know all these bodies, then the whole body nature we can use them. So each man is to himself, it is also said, each man is to himself absolutely the way, the truth, the life. These are the not simple terms. You have to contemplate on this. But it is only so when we grasp the whole individuality firmly, and by the forces of awakened spiritual will, it is only then one recognizes to use his individuality fully. We are individual, we are unique. That is what we studied in the human bodies. And it is also essential to know and also to examine what is meant by higher self. I quote here HPB's writings. He used the word higher self for the spiritual soul, Atma Buddhi, in together with higher manas. Atma Buddhi together with higher manas, that forms the spiritual soul. That is what HPB used the word spiritual soul. This is a point of note for all serious students. HPB Blavatsky is very clear that the monad is a truly indivisible thing, indistinguishable from the one absolute. And in speaking of the monad or higher self, she said, the higher self is the conscious experience, and that can be only reached in a state of samadhi or nirvana, and have no association with any sense of personal self or I, because it is one with the absolute and utterly beyond our personal affairs and mental efforts. It is absolutely above all these. So what she said, Atmana is the universal all. Atmana is the universal all and becomes the higher self. And it becomes the higher self only in conjunction with Buddhi, its vehicle which links it to the individuality or our divine man. This is what we meditate on our higher self as predicted or as experienced by those who have experienced this samadhi state. And therefore, we are asked to meditate on the higher self. So personality should be looked from the point of view of individuality, this Atma Buddhi Manasa. As FPB explains, there are two aspects to Manasa, higher and the lower. We call it as the higher mind and lower mind. The higher attracted to the spiritual and the lower always to the material. One is more active and the other is less active. The thinking conscious ego gravitating towards the spiritual soul, that is buddhi, and its instinctual, that is animal nature or animal principle, attracted to the karma. So that is what karma and kama, especially the seat of animal passions and desires. We are going to study the karma and reincarnation along with this. Before that, we must know what are these bodies which are used in our action. Action is karma. So the spiritual thinking ego is the permanent principle or that which is the seat of manasa. It is the ego which reincarnates the individual and not personal. The vehicle, in short, of the Atma Buddhi monad like this. So once we understand this, then we will go to consider how this karma will help us. And in Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse in 3rd chapter, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtitya akarma kruta karyate avashaha karma sarva prakriti jairgunai. This means no one escape work or activity. Your nature is such a that it will propel you to work. You can't sit quiet. It will propel you to work. Either physically, emotionally, or mentally, you are always working. But the intelligent man recognizes this and takes up work as duty, and he does it in a right way. He does not deceive himself, avoiding action when it is time to act. So let us remember this law of karma and law of reincarnation. Everybody should realize and study throughout life. Law of karma is the law of harmony. Law of reincarnation is the law of necessity. One cannot understand it fully in one reading. You must read it, contemplate it, and experience how this karma is working and how it is not possible to work out this karma in this life. It takes much time, and this lifespan is only 100 years. How can we get through the certain habits which are the samskaras? So many lives of efforts are needed to get through this karma. That is what one realizes because of our impurities. Otherwise, J. Krishnamurti said we can immediately transcend. It is also possible. Choice is ours. But that kind of will, that kind of thirst, that kind of intensity is required. So everybody should read the little essay on karma given in the Light on the Path at the end. That presents to the students a very valuable insights into working of the karma. Everybody should read that essay written by karma that is given at the end of the Light on the Path book. And that essay says, what is necessary first to understand is the present is not separate from the future is not separate from the present. That is important statement it does. The future is not separate from the present. But that the whole of the future is in unbroken continuity with the present, as the present is with the past. So many who accept the law of karma fail to understand this. Understand this continuity. This continuity from future and present and past, all this. Many who accept the law of karma fail to understand that there is this continuity, but that law works in a complex and very, very subtle way. But our limited mind, our mind which is conditioned by personal desires, which is conditioned by hopes, it tries to oversimplify its conditions, and therefore it falls into the belief that it has understood. That is what our tradition says. Okay, we will work out this karma in the next life. That is why we have understood. And it is understood because of our limited mind and conditional personal desires. We are postponing our present opportunity. So the essay on karma that warns us The operation of actual laws of karma are not to be studied until the disciple has reached the point at which they no longer affect himself. Again, some preparation is required. When you study such law of karma, law of reincarnation, certain preparation in the sense, physical, emotional and mental, all such preparation is required. You have to be serious. Otherwise you won't understand. You just read and leave it. So in the same manner, in a small booklet, 8 questions, time and timeless, Krishnamurti has given very nice explanation. One can read it when the time finds. You can read that in your lodge also and make it clear for yourself. You know, when we say action or karma, Krishnamurti says, life is action. Life and action are not separate. So when we speak about law of karma, I am the way, I am the life, I am the truth. That is what it is said. So in that sense, life is action. Life and action are not separate. And he instructs us, life is not an idea carried on in action. Just as you cannot have love as an idea. This we need to understand. And such understanding is an art of listening, he says. We are not ready to listen seriously. Whatever sages, whatever scriptures they have said, we don't go deep into it. We don't listen. Listening means it must go deep into our consciousness. When it touches our consciousness, when it clicks our consciousness, definitely that leads you to the right action. And therefore, it is said in the voice of the silence, in the light on the path, listen to the song of life. When life is action, life and action are not separate. And Krishnamurti says, listen. Listening is an art. Then what to listen? Listen to the song of life. And harmony is the song of life. Again, we come to this. Harmony is the song of life. And this law of karma is nothing but the law of harmony. So let there be harmony in your relationship. And as Krishnamurti finally stated, relationship is life. And he also warned us that mind is the tool to find out. We say always, through the mind we have to meditate, through mind we have to find the truth. But he warned us, mind is the tool, no doubt. But it is the tool to find known, not the unknown. Because this mind moves from known to known and not to unknown. So what truth the mind finds is self-projected. So whatever our mind has found now about our knowledge of physical body, emotional body, and intellectual body, all this, it is again this lower mind has found. It is its self-projected, which may be satisfying us, because it is satisfying us more than the previous knowledge. So it is seeking, this mind is seeking its own self-projection and not the truth. So all ideals are self-projected and it is unreal. So what is real then? What is real is what is. So when we say we have an ideal of becoming a good man, no. What is real is we must know what I am now. Whether I am good or bad, leave aside. Observe yourself. Observe your physical body. Observe your emotional body, observe your mental body. Whether the physical body is active or lazy, whether the emotional body is selfish, or whether the mental body is, intellectual body is careful or not. So what is, that is actually is reality. So Krishnamurti says, if it is seeking God, if this mind is seeking God, it is seeking the known God, and it is not real. So we come to the practical now. When we study the law of karma, it is very important to know this law of karma. It is a law, it is a force. Forcibly, we are definitely inhuman, lot of cruelty is there, but we wanted to be kind. The kindness won't come unless this cruelty goes. When the cruelty goes, there is kindness. So what is cruelty. What is inhumanity. We are himsak, we are violent, and that is the cause of all suffering. So if we understand this in this physical world, that this is the cause, then when we die, this law of karma explains life after life how this cruelty is converted into kindness or into compassion. So when you study the law of karma, you must also study this seriously. The cruelty or inhumanity is the cause, violence is the cause. With this cause we are suffering in this earth, and life after death, the effect will be again suffering, which is the consequences because of our action on this globe earth. After death, again the effect will be suffering, and finally when we reach to the Devkhan, Swarga, there the kindness, the lesson of kindness we study, or we get the lesson of kindness in Devkhana. And once we get the lesson of kindness, once we passed that examination, once we get that degree of kindness, then this law again gives an opportunity to come to the life on earth. And this is the second birth. There is opportunity, greater need for kindness is there. We experience, we become rich. If we are wealthy, then we must use that lesson to be generous. If we are powerful, in the sense physical or any political power, etc., then we must use that lesson to serve more wisely. And if we are really knowledgeable, then we must use that knowledge and let the others know that true knowledge. In this way, this is the greater need. And this is the opportunity, greater need is there. So again, choice is there. Lesson is given, opportunity is given to take birth. But if we use this, then this kindness, lot of things, many times we can't use, because in a family, there are many liabilities. He is a head of the family. He has to work for the others. He is the only earning person. Whatever he earns, he has to spend for the fulfillment of the others in the family. And if he is really kind, he work out his karma and he bring that lesson into the action. And when he dies doing such karma, then after death, his life will be a happiness, and Again, when he reaches to the Devkhana in the next life, there will be greater kindness lessons will be given to him. And those greater kindness lessons, when they are given, they are again given opportunity to take birth. Like this, our karma, the law of opportunity, works continuously. If we understand this, and the man won't become immediately from one thing to the other unless he reaches to that state. Of course, Angulimal, he was very cruel, but it is the aura of Buddha helped him to reach to that causal thing, and immediately the transformation took place, and he was a very good monk of Buddha later on. So Angulimala Sutta is also there. We can read. This is how the kindness converts into compassion. So once we understand this, how the law of karma is the law of opportunity, then we have been reading many times, and we have read also the karma, literally action. Any action is called karma, provided there is initiative or intention in the act. Thus, when a carpenter makes a chair, we call it his action. But if a flag waves in the breeze, we do not say it acts, but only that it moves. So the term karma might be better explained as doing rather than action. So karma, we can make it as the duty also. The term is used also to indicate the law of karma, by which every individual reaps the reward of his own efforts and actions, both good and bad. So the law of karma is the law of opportunity and as well as the law of harmony. The idea that everything is paid for in the same coinage, everything is paid for in the same coinage, which means give action and you will be repaid by affection. Give action and you will be repaid by affection. Give thought and you will be repaid by knowledge. Give labor and you will be repaid by goods, and so on. With respect to all giving and taking, all kindness and unkindness, all good or evil conduct, all emotion or thought. So it is implied also that what we now receive is the result of our past actions. So what you work for, you get it. That is what you have now. What you work for, you have it now. What you have stolen, you lose now. So karma is of three kinds. It is very well explained everywhere. Kriyamana karma, prarabdha karma, sanchiti karma. Kriyamana karma is the present karma. Prarabdha karma is the past karma. Sanchit karma is the future karma. So let us remember, this is also explained in different colors also. White karma, black karma, and mixed karma. So this is what it is interesting to know. What one is now making is kriyamana or vartman karma. What one is now receiving or what from the past is now fructifying is prarabdha, and what one has in storage is sanchita for the future. In the case of ordinary people, karma is also called, as I said, white, black, and mixed, meaning pleasant, painful, and mixed. what is this white? White being the result of intelligence, goodness, and self-control. And especially, this white karma is for the yogis. They have already attained that one. Yogis, however, who have reached the point of regarding all fruits or karmas as equal through practical discrimination of their usefulness as means of experience and purification or development. They are also thereby said to have karma which is neither black nor white. They do not guide their lives by consideration of pleasure and pain. Further, by treating the present karmas with vairagya. That is what all yogis and rishis they do. They do not have the desire which modify them into future karmas. So, karmas are in suspension or storage because all the various results of the past actions or doings cannot be expressed all at once in one set or in one life, one type of life, because the experience of motherhood is necessary to have to become a female. So all this one set of life and environment is essential, but some are obstructed by present condition and are therefore latent or suspended. They will manifest when suitable opportunities occur. It is to be understood that what has gone and what has not yet come are realities in nature and are therefore potencies. But this is empathetic. They have their own kind of reality, which is not the same as that of what exists at the present time. In the mind, in the memory, and in the reason, all these open the doors for their influence in the present. Both the kinds of latent potency, the characters of the quality, like tamoguna, rajoguna, and sattva of nature, just as present objects have, there is objective reality of actions and their results. In the yoga philosophy, although the karma which has become the fruit or begun its operation cannot be stopped but must be dealt with, this is not the case with the stored karma. So, example we can take, an act of kindness in the present will cancel out an act of unkindness done in the past. So karma has reference to actions and facts, not to the operational powers of the higher self. Thus love, example, does not make karma, but loving actions makes karma. So only love is the force and loving action is the good karma. An injury done by A to B may be returned from C. That is also a law. It is not that the same person must return. Here again, common karma we are facing. Now we are facing, all of us, we are global pandemic, suffering is faced as a common karma of the human beings. So, love is a force of attraction, and when people love one another, personally they will come together again, regardless of circumstances or karmas, it being beyond the material law and a direct operation and relationship of the higher self. So in the family we come together. It has its own effects. So what is essential is, when we come in the family, relationship is the life. And in the family, we have to be very careful, especially relationship. So, see into the mirror of relationship. That is what Krishnamurti said. And change your karma. Begin to relate at any cost to mother lovingly, wife truthfully, father respectfully, brother wholeheartedly, sister affectionately, children enthusiastically, friends joyfully, officers politely, and politicians carefully. Why it is said? These are all our karma, and these souls, they come together. We are not coming together with any reason, not a less reason, but it is a reason in the sense that reason cannot be found in the lower mind. That law works, and they bring people in one family as brothers, sisters, or parents, all this. And that is why our relationship should be careful, and then only we can really act. That is why it is said, karma yoga, the yoga or by action. Action or business in the world is not in itself a form of yoga, because it may be motivated by selfishness of the comfort or saneness kind, or on the self-satisfaction kind. But if it is carried on unselfishly with a view to the welfare of others or the welfare of the world, then loka sangraha, then it is karma yoga. So all this karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga, all these yogas are very essential. Even it is not only in our tradition, in our Japanese yin and yang, symbol of harmony. When we learn to embrace all dualities and balance them and act wisely, then if we look them in our life, ups and downs, good and bad, joys and challenges, then that harmony can be reached. I am not going to extend much, but it is very important to remember karma yoga, jnana yoga. Jnana yoga gives this knowledge of law of karma and reincarnation. These go hand in hand, and this jnana yoga gives right direction to our thought. And karma yoga improves our quantity of good thoughts. And bhakti yoga, actually, the quality of the thought is changed. So there has to be synthesis of all these three yogas. And bhakti yoga, it is very nicely said. If this bhakti or devotion or dedication is mixed in food, it becomes prasada. That is what very nicely it is said. We must contemplate on this. If it is entered into the water, bhakti, if it is entered into water, it becomes tirtha or amruta. And if it is entered into the music, and we have this kirtana is also a devotional way of expressing or adoring the Leela of Lord. And if such devotion or bhakti is in your house, that house becomes the temple. And whatever with love you do, that becomes your real seva, service. And it is not that we have not served. We have definitely served with all kinds of service-mindedness. And this service, we have increased our service. But in Kali Yuga, we must remember, whatever we do, we must do it seriously. Kali Yuga, in one day or in 24 hours or in the next moment, you can get transformed. And it was not possible in Dwapara Yuga. it was taking for 1 month period. In Treta Yuga, it was taking 1 year. And in Krita Yuga, it was taking 10 years to transform. So Kali Yuga is an opportunity. And we have to do, it is possible. Karma is like a rock. But river cuts the rock, not because of its power, but it cuts because of its persistent efforts. So we must do that effort to break this chain of action and reaction, or a law of karma. We must follow this life, river of life, and persistently, without losing hope. Let me tell you best story of the 4 candles, which is very popular, but Tripathi ji, time is there? Hello, Tripathi ji?
Yes, sir. Yeah, time is there.
Only one last story I will tell.
Yes,
and
yes,
I will end up.
Yes, you can take 5 minutes and conclude it.
Okay.
Yes, continue.
See, we all know this story, but we have to understand.
Exactly.
Let me remind the story of 4 candles. The first candle is candle of peace, second candle is candle of faith, third candle is candle of love, and fourth candle is candle of the fourth candle is candle of hope. So the first candle says the world is full of anger, the world is full of fighting, nobody care, keep me and nobody care, and I will go out. So flame of peace went out completely. Then the candle of faith, it said, when peace is not there, what is the use of faith? It does not make sense. So I also go away. And then the candle of love, it also started speaking sadly. People don't understand my importance. So that candle also went away. Suddenly, a child entered. Again, the child is the symbol of innocent mind, a pure mind, open mind. So this child entered the room and saw 3 candles were unlit and only one was burning. And the child asked that candle, "Are you supposed to stay burning up to the end?" And the candle said, "No, I don't allow myself to end." And the boy started crying. Then that 4th candle said, "I am hope. I have realized you will pick up me up and relit the other candles of love, faith, and peace. And so even if you subdue the lower bodies, hope that only by that higher bodies will lit them with wisdom, and love." So if we open our mind, then higher bodies are. So we don't neglect our lower bodies. When we meditate on the higher self, it will lift it and it will take us up. I think I tried to summarize all this. This is a very big topic, actually, the human bodies and karma. But we must relate it to our daily practical life. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and also I thank to everyone who attended this. So many people, they attended.